Hi, my name's James Berryman. I'm the export sales manager for Blackstar Amplification, and I've got something really exciting to tell you. Yorkville Sound are now our distributor for Blackstar amps in Canada, and what this means for you is that you can now walk into any Long & McQuaid store in Canada and you can find Blackstar Amplification. So, Blackstar, how do we start? Where do we come from? We are a British guitar amplification brand. We were founded by 4 guys that were all ex-Marshall employees. Very high up the food chain at Marshall, and they literally rubbed shoulders with Jim Marshall himself. But after a few years, the guys decided that they wanted to start their own thing, and they felt that they could do more with amplification at the time. So they decided to part ways, friendly, with Mr. Jim Marshall, and they started up Blackstar Amplification in 2003. And that started in Ian's shed. Ian Robinson is our MD, and the guys went from working at Marshall and having these pristine engineering rooms to dream up product to a shed at the bottom of Ian's garden. So a bit of a change, but they were determined to make a difference and to make something new with amplification. In that shed, lots of cool innovations happened. One of those innovations was our Infinite Shape Feature, and also DPR, which is Dynamic Power Reduction, which are 2 huge features still to this day that we include in our products. After tinkering, inventing, and getting inspired, after 2.5 years of this in Ian's shed, we launched the company in 2007 at Music Messe. We launched as a very high-end brand. We had an artisan series of amps, which we still make, all tube, beautiful, like just the absolute best of everything that we have that we pour into our artisan series. That's what we launched with. We also launched with some pedals, and our HT pedals. That was the brand. There we were, 2007, Music Messe. Fortunately, because we have quite a lot of people that have moved over from Marshall to work for Blackstar, we also launched with some pretty big names attached to us. We have the guys from Def Leppard using Blackstar. Eventually, Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi came over to use Blackstar. Our artist roster still to this day is growing and is very strong. So this shined a spotlight on Blackstar straight out of the gate. And then over the years, we've worked our way through the different price points and the different solution price points for people. So meaning that instead of just making very high-end products, we kind of worked our way into making mid-range price products for intermediate players, and then eventually into beginner price points. So for people of all ages, all different price points, we've got you covered with the Blackstar brand. But there's one very important thing to point out with Blackstar is tone comes first. It's about getting the absolute best sounding product into your hands that we can make for whatever that price point is. So if you are buying an entry-level debut amp, for example, which is our very entry beginners products, that will be the best sounding product that we can make at that price point. Likewise, as you move through, they are feature rich. We really do try to get you the absolute best bang for buck within whatever given product you are buying. The other thing that I get asked a lot on my travels is, what's the Blackstar sound? What is it? Well, one of the most important pieces of equipment we have at Blackstar is an AB box, We use this to A/B vintage amps from the past, other equivalents within certain price points from other brands. And that's a very vital thing to do, because when we're printing our sonic footprint, we like to A/B these other sounds, because they are the sounds of music. They are the sounds of rock and of jazz, or whatever it is that is your thing. But what we then do is, in terms of it coming into a Blackstar product, with our feature set like ISF, like our CabRig technology, which is our IR, where you can plug your amp into a computer and you can move a virtual speaker around a virtual room, and you can have a mic on access, off access. You create your tone. That's the difference. It's the sound in your head, not our sound, it's your sound. So that's the big thing with Blackstar. You buy a Blackstar product and you create your own sound with our feature set, which is very unique and absolutely unique to Blackstar. Blackstar make market-leading products. We are not a heritage brand, because we're too new, 2007. So what we have is innovation. Innovation within guitar products, specifically amplification, is at the very heart of what Blackstar do. We have a team of engineers based in the UK of all ages working very, very hard to create the best products that we can, and to give each product something unique, so that every single one of our products has something absolutely unique to Blackstar. So innovation, sound, the sound in your head, connectivity, all of these things are absolutely integral parts of the Blackstar brand. And it carries across everything that we do. We make acoustic amps now, same philosophy. We make bass amps now, same philosophy. Everything we do to get you the best tone as quickly as possible out the box, to get you playing music, because that's what we do. We want you to play music, and we want you to be inspired by the product. And the best thing that happens with a great amp is that you forget what you're playing through, and you're just playing music, and you're enjoying it, and you're creating, and you're writing, or you're working stuff out. And that's what Blackstar does across our lineup. We create these products so that you can make music. In fact, the two founders that are still with the brand, Ian Robinson and Paul Hayhoe, are in a band. They play music. We haven't forgotten that. Everybody at Blackstar that works for Blackstar plays music. It's why we're here. It's why we make the products that we make, to inspire you to play music. So, Blackstar, what do we have in the room? Let me show you. We've got a few pieces here. We have some of our debut amps behind me here. You can see these are our entry-level amplifiers for beginners, and also people that play live. We go quite high in the wattage, so we go up to 50 and 100 now. So our debut amps are not just for beginners, but they were originally designed for beginners as a foray, an entry into the guitar world, a gateway drug, if you like, into rock and roll. Over here, in no particular order, at the other end of our market, we have Blackstar St. James amplifiers. These are the lightest valve amps, tube amps, I should say, in the world. They're 50 watt. We do them as a 6L6 and EL34 combo. You can get them as a 2x12 combo, and you can get them as a head and a vertical cab. They're an awesome, awesome product, all tube. They've got full connectivity as well with our CabRig software. Super, super cool. Just over here, not sure if you can see, but we've got our Unity bass amps. This is a full range of bass amps that Blackstar now offers. And on top of that, you will see one of our best-selling products. This is the first foray into the digital world of Blackstar, which is ID Core. ID Core has lots of effects on it. It has super wide stereo. When you're playing, it sounds like the sound is coming from all around you. It's incredible. That sits just above debut in terms of our price points that we're hitting. What else have we got here? We've got Acoustic Core over here. This is a similar price point to ID Core, which I just mentioned, but it's an acoustic amp, as the title gives away. Again, stereo sound. You can plug a microphone into it, and you can use it to go and gig with. It's super cool. The acoustic core is sitting on an HT5R. This is an all-tube amplifier, much like this guy here. This is the 1R, this little cute fella here. These are all tube, really, really cool. We've just relaunched these as Mark III, and that's what these are. So very, very cool, very excellent sounding products. Then what is sitting at the bottom of this stack over here is an HT Venue Club 40. Now this is one of our best selling pro level amplifiers. You can get this as a 60, you can get it as a 100-watt head. Super, super cool product, and absolutely ready for the global stage. Now behind me here, we've got some Fly amplifiers. These are our little 3-watt desk amps. Super cool. You can get them as a rechargeable version. You can get them with Bluetooth. You can get them as a bass version and an acoustic version. Really, really cool. Little amplifiers. There's a whole row of them behind me here. If I get out of the way, you can probably just about see. So up here, we have an amped pedal. There's one there, and there's one there. That I'm pointing at, believe it or not, is a 100-watt amplifier. We do 3. We do amp 1, 2, and 3. Varying differences between the 3. But they are our 100-watt amplifier with full CabRig connectivity to our patented IR. And you can connect them and use them as a DAW when you're recording. Really, really cool. And I think we've kind of got through most of what is in here. Other than, actually, one more. We've got our amp plugs. And if you can see these here, these are tiny little amplifier which you can plug into your guitar, literally straight in, play with headphones, and it keeps you creative whilst you're making a cup of coffee in the morning in the kitchen, because they're just completely portable. So that is essentially a very quick overview of what's in the room with regards to Blackstar products. Now we're going to go into some more detail looking at the Debut series. Okay, so product overview on Debut in just a little bit more detail for you. So with the Debut series, we start with a 10. So the 10 is just behind me here. And you'll see what we have with the 10 is obviously a 10-watt amp. This is really a bedroom amplifier. It's for people that are just starting, just getting into playing music, playing guitar, and it's the perfect product for that. Obviously, feature set wise, as we move from a 10 into a 15, there are a few differences, and I'll point some of those out. So with the 10, all we're getting is obviously a volume, an EQ, which is our ISF, and delay. But we also have on the 10 MP3 line in and EM out for headphones, which we have also on the 15. The difference with the 15 here, as you'll see, so we have gain, we have an OD channel, which we can switch between using this here. This is our volume. This is our tone pot. And then we move into our ISF. So just to explain about ISF a little bit more and go to a little bit more detail with you. If I position the ISF here at 12 o'clock, what I'm going to do is go from here, I'm going to go hard left. So what does that mean? Tonally, that's going to give us more of an American sound. Okay? So hard left on ISF is going to get you more of an American sound. As we move round and go hard right on here, guess what? We're going to get more of a British tone. We call it Infinite Shape Feature because if we're moving ISF and on some of our 3-band EQ products, which is what the 50 has, we start moving the tone deck, essentially we get an infinite amount of different sounds. And that comes straight back to talking again about finding your sound. And this is one of the features of Blackstar, which enables you to do that. So the 10, the 15. We have a 30, and then we jump to a 50. Now the 50 is behind me here. The 50 has reverb, is a full 12-inch speaker, and is a superb pedal platform. It has the 3-band EQ and not a lot else. It has an OD on there, so you have the option to switch between higher gain, but it's everything you need and nothing that you don't. We've tried to keep Debut purposely very clean and very, very simple. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you may notice that there's also two different colour variations. We do cream and we do black with this type of fret, and then we have the oxblood fret, which is here. Now, if you look behind me here, you will see the Debut 100, so the highest powered in the lineup. We can get this, has everything that the Debut 50 has, but we can get it as a 1x12, we can get it as a 2x12, and we can get it as a head and a vertical cab. So again, these are everything that you need, nothing that you don't. Very, very simple, clean, effective amplifiers for the entry-level market. Or as a intermediate player, maybe as a backup amplifier to your gigging amplifier. Now, one very important thing I do want to mention about the Debut 50 and above is that we have MOSFET technology. So if you don't know what that means, it means it will respond and it will sound, and most importantly, it will feel like a tube amp. Okay, so when you're playing through the Debut 50 or the Debut 100, you get this really nice valvey, tubey warmth in sound, in tone, and in feel. You actually feel like you are pushing air. It's that magical feeling that hopefully some of you watching this have experienced before, of being stood on a stage or in a rehearsal room when you crank your amplifier up, you put your headphones on to protect your ears, but you get this amazing feel and sound like you are pushing some air. That's what these amplifiers will do. So the Debut range, our entry level into the Blackstar lineup, and for you as a beginner, into you playing guitar. ID Core. ID Core is Blackstar's entry into the digital world of amplification. We do a 10, we do a 20, and we do a 40 watt as your options. So we're going to talk a little bit about those. This fella next to me here is probably our best selling amplifier in the world. It's the one that we sell the most of, and all of our partners around the world are constantly ordering these because customers Customers want them. There's a few unique features with the ID Core range which I want to talk to you about. One of them is a stereo wide sound, so there's actually 2 speakers in here, and that sound kind of envelops you when you're playing. It sounds huge. It sounds much, much bigger than the sum of its parts when you look at this amplifier. It's a very, very clever piece of technology which we've packed into here to give you that sound and hopefully inspire you to create music. But then there's some great connection things here as well, which I want to talk about. So as we look at this, you will see we have CabRig Lite, which you can go from here, or you can take from a USB into your PC or Mac. And it's a light version of our CabRig IR, which allows you essentially to move a speaker around a virtual studio and have an open back cab or closed back or 4x12 or whatever it is that you want, whatever incarnation that you want, you can have and you can use in our software. You can also have on-access, off-access mics. There's different choices of microphones, of brands of microphones. Super cool, really, really good fun. You'll see here it says line in and streaming, which you can do with a TRRS cable. So you connect that to your mobile device and you can do a live stream. So imagine this. You've set your phone up in your bedroom. You've plugged that into your TRS cable, into your phone, and then into the other end of here. So what the people on your stream are now hearing is the sound of the amplifier. They're hearing you talk, but what audio they're getting from the guitar is not the audio in the room, it's direct from the amplifier. So really, really cool feature. And obviously, you know, it's a digital amp, so we have some options here for you. We have some clean brights, we have some gains, we have super crunch, we have OD1, we have OD2, we have modulations, we have delays, we have tap tempo on here. The other great thing with these is, as you can see here, we do have a type of DPR, dynamic power reduction, where we can take this from 10 watts down to 1 watt if you're being told off for playing too loud. So All of these feature sets are in every model in ID Core. Again, the 10, the 20, and the 40. And they're also just a super cool looking amplifier. We spent a lot of time with V4 modernizing the look of them and making sure that, because let's be honest, we also hear and buy things a lot with our eyes. So as great as these do sound, and they sound incredible, we also want to try and make them look appealing as well. We also have ISF on this, I should mention as well. Again, our Infinite Shape Feature. So a very beginners, yes, it is a beginner's product, but it is our entry into the digital world of amplifiers. But as they get bigger, the 20 and the 40, there's no reason why, particularly with the 40, you couldn't go and use those at band practice. So ID Core, feature rich, sounds incredible, super wide stereo, infinite shape feature, connection to your PC or laptop with CabRig, USB. It really is a very, very compelling feature set. So that is our ID Core range. Acousticore. This is our entry-level acoustic guitar amp, and it is killer, let me tell you. So, like ID Core, our electric options, there's 2 speakers in here, so you get super wide sound, and boy, does this thing kick it out for a smaller amp. It's a 30-watt amp, it's Acousticore 30, and we have a few features on here, so I'll take you through some. So we have 2 channels. This is our instrument channel, so we have obviously our EQ here, we have chorus, we have reverb, and then as we come to the second channel, this is our vocal channel. So microphone goes in here, and here is our options to sculpt our vocal sound. Now these are aimed squarely at beginners and intermediate players. So we've kept it very, very simple, but you will see a few other features on here. The live streaming feature, which we spoke about with the ID Core, is present on Acousticore. So what's that? Just to remind you, it means if you're doing a Facebook live stream, you can, with a TROS cable connected to your phone, connect the other end into the amplifier, and what the people are hearing on your live stream is not the sound of the amp in the room that you are in. They're hearing the sound of the amp directly.
Go on and close the curtains. All we need is candlelight. You and me and a bottle of wine. Gonna hold you tonight. Oh, save tonight. Fight the break of dawn. Come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone. Save tonight. Fight the break of dawn. Come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone. Yeah, yeah.
So this is an absolutely killer product. Very, very simple, very, very clean, but as our entry into the acoustic guitar amplification world, it's absolutely a compelling product. It really is. There's a lot here to get you playing and get you singing live in one single box. Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, okay, we've all heard of them, right? Those guys and many other artists that as you're scrolling through your Instagram and you're listening to the amazing tones of them playing in their hotel room are using Fly 3. So this is our desktop amplifier which you can travel the world with. You can stick into your guitar pouch at the front of your guitar bag or in your hand luggage and store very easily in the overhead locker. These are, next to ID Core 10, probably our best-selling product. So there's a few variations in the line, which I'll tell you a little bit about now. But the thing they all have in common is these guys sound so good because inside here is a linear speaker. It's a proper speaker that moves and vibrates in here, which is why these sound so good. So let me tell you a little bit about them. Down here we have our first foray into Fly. This is battery powered, so AA batteries will go into these guys, and with obviously the usual, which I will show you on here in a minute, the actual feature set. We have ISF, we have a tape delay. It's going to sound awesome, but obviously it's battery powered, so that fits a certain demographic, and that's perfect. What I'm holding in my hands is the rechargeable version, so you can actually charge this guy. We also have with this the upgrade of having Bluetooth on the top there, so you can connect your music to it, and you can do what I do, which is back home. I connect my phone to my Fly in the kitchen when I'm cooking, and this is what I use to play my music through because it's rechargeable. So it's awesome, awesome, awesome product. We have an OD channel on here. We have some EQ, we have some delay, and then we also have, with our ISF, again, we can go hard left, we get an American tone, hard right, we get a British tone. So for a little package, there's a lot in here. There really is. We've also, as we can see on here, we've got the MP3 line in and the phone's out. And it really is just a compelling little package. So one last thing to tell you about these. As I turn this round, we have this little fella here. This is so that you can buy the external extension cab speaker. If you want to, you don't have to. And you can have these in stereo, so you can have two, and they sound massive. If you're wanting to potentially try a Blackstar, but maybe you're not ready to take the plunge and buy a Debut 50 or a St. James or whatever, you just want to try the brand out, try a Fly 3. These things are incredible and they really do pack a punch. So just to review, Fly 3, 3-watt amplifier. You can get them battery powered, you can get them charged. You can also get them as a bass version. You can get an acoustic guitar version as well. It's a full lineup of products. So Blackstar, Fly 3. You can create and you can play music wherever you are because you can take it with you. amPlug Fly. You thought Fly 3 was small. Check this little guy out. amPlug literally allows you to play anywhere. It's an awesome, awesome little product. So we do a guitar, electric guitar version, and we do a bass guitar version. Our dealers all over the world love these because they sit on their counter and people are just fascinated with them when they come to the till. Battery powered. We have a couple of features on here. We have obviously volume. We have ISF, believe it or not, we squeezed into here as well. Then we have our gain, and this is our aux in for our headphones. We have a little button here which you probably won't pick up, which does some effects for you. So this is what you do. You pick up your guitar, okay, you plug it in, you put your headphones on, and you play. It's that simple. Fly amPlug by Blackstar. You can play literally anywhere. Blackstar Amped. What is it? Okay, there's 3. We have 2 here today. Amped 1, 2, and 3. They are 100 watt amplifiers on the floor. What I'm holding here is Amp 2. But let me talk to you about Amp 1 briefly. Amp 1 is something you can have on your pedal board with all of your effects, which is a 100 watt pedal, which will also act as a bit of a power brick as well for some of your pedals. So you can go out the back of Amp 1 and have it power your pedal board. And you can literally take that as part of your pedal board with your guitar and go do a gig, because you can go direct into a cab, you can go direct into a DI box, to PA, whatever you want. That becomes your Fly rig. It's incredible. Amp 2 is all of that with effects. So we have some effects here, we have some modulations, we have some reverbs, we have some delays, we have different response valves, which we also have on Amp 1. The other thing that this has in common with Amp 1, as I turn it over, all of the amped range has this feature, is CabRig. CabRig, to remind you, you can connect these to your PC or laptop, and you can then load up our CabRig software, which is a proprietary system. It's our own software, and you can move a speaker around a virtual studio and change open back speaker, closed back speaker, mic, on access, off access, different mic brands. You get completely different sounds, and then you can save them to the product itself. Now, if you look here, 1, 2, and 3. These are the 3 presets from CabRig, which we preload onto every amp. Amp 1, 2, and 3. When you go into CabRig and you're at home and you've bought your amped product, this is where you can store your own 3 settings. Okay, so a lot of connectivity here. We have the USB. We can also go headphones for silent practice, which is super, super cool. We have a balanced out as well, and right here is what I was talking to you a moment ago regarding Amp 1. It's exactly the same with 2 and 3. This is where you can power some of your pedals on your pedal board. Very, very cool product. With Amp 3, which is this fella here, we have a 3-channel amp. We also have gain plus gain. This is the heavy duty, hard rock, heavy metal version. We do have some different power amp responses, and we have an OD1, we have an OD2. Up here, we have our gains and our reverbs and our presence, our master. We designed this, as you look at this, to look like an amplifier, because guess what? It is. It is an amplifier. All 3 of them are. amp. If you are looking for something to sit on your pedal board as your amplifier, or a backup amplifier, guess what? Sometimes things go wrong at gigs. Things break, or maybe there's not room for your stuff. This is a real life example. Somebody told me they were the support act to a headline band, and there wasn't room with the headline band's equipment on stage for them to bring their amps on. No problem. The guy pulled out his amp 1. That was his amp. There's his tone. He's ready to go. And you can do that with all 3 of these. So amp is a one-stop solution. It's an amp on the floor. It's 100 watt. You can take it down as well. We do have DPR, so you can bring it down. As we can see here, let me give you an example. We can go 1 watt on this guy. We can go 20 watt. We can go 100 watt. These are super connected with PC, laptop, CabRig, using them as a DAW. Really, really cool products. So amped 1, 2, and 3. 100 watt amplifiers on the floor. HT series. So we have tube amplifiers. These are the first step on the ladder of Blackstar all tube, all valve amplifiers. We have 3 flavors: HT1R, HT5R, HT20R. They are killer, superb, the best sounding tube amps that money can buy at this price point. And they are, being a Blackstar, feature rich. And I'll show you some of those features. So we have here, this is our level, our gain, OD select, 1 and 2. Obviously our volume here, master volume. We have voice 1, voice 2. Voice 2 on this, I have a particular penchant for. I love voice 2 on this. If you move it into voice 2, we turn the volume down and we turn the gain up like this, you're going to get that really nice voxy breakup, that Queen kind of sound. It really, really rings to me. I love that sound. So we can dial in some beautiful classic tones with these amplifiers. This on the HT1R is our EQ, which acts as our ISF. Again, hard left, American, hard right, British tone. Now when we move to the HT5R, we get the tone deck. We get the full 3-band EQ. But the 1R is so diddy, we condensed it into ISF. We have reverb, and then crucially for Mark III, we have CabRig technology. Again, this is our proprietary IR system where you can connect on the back here via USB-C to your laptop or PC, Apple Mac, whatever it is that you use. And you can move a virtual mic around a virtual studio, and you can change cabs and open back, close back. And then you can save 3 settings to the amplifier. And that's exactly what this switch is here. Like with the amped pedals that we spoke about, we give you 3 on there to get you going. But once you're in the CabRig software, you can then deselect those and select your own preference, whatever your personal touch is. Again, this comes back to Blackstar's philosophy, which is the sound in your head. We are giving you the most amount of options we can for you to create your own tone. Tone, tone, tone. It's about making music. It's about getting the sound that is going to inspire you to play music. And not only to get it, but to get it quite quickly, to get it fast, get it out of the box, get playing straight away. There's 3 different tones immediately, just using the CabRig presets that are on there. We have a lines out and we have a line in as well on here. And then because these are Mark III, these have just been released. So we've upgraded the visual aesthetics of the amplifiers. Because, hey, we work in rock and roll and we like things that look cool. It's one thing having them sound cool, but we want them to look cool as well. HT1, 5 and 20R Mark III are now out and available to buy. Blackstar HT Venue. This is our Pro Series line of amplifiers for pros that tour in bands and play arenas and stadiums, or intermediate players that maybe play for fun at the weekends, weekend warriors, as we lovingly refer to you as. The HT Venue range is all valve, all tube. They come in a few flavors. This is the 40. We also have a 50 head, 100 head. We have a 60 combo, 1x12 and 2x12. But this is the 40, as I say. Happens to be one of the best selling versions of the HT Venue. And as I say, we're on to Mark III now. Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3. Brand new. These have been out for about 12 months. And what changed between Mark 2 and Mark 3? If you've seen a Mark 2 HT Club 40 and you sit it next to this guy, they look very, very different. So we've updated the aesthetics because we're all musicians and we all hear with our eyes first, right? We want things to look good. We want them to look sexy. So we've updated the look. We spent a lot of time and a lot of money on making them look this cool. So that's one of the big things, obviously, that's changed between Mark II and Mark III. Now, diving into what we've got up here, just very, very briefly, channel 1, we have 2 voices. So in the first position, beautiful glassy tones, perfect pedal platform. We go to voice 2, and we turn the volume down and the gain up, and we start to get a beautiful, on the edge of breakup, voxy, warm, gorgeous sound. One of my personal favorites. Then we come over to the overdrive. We've obviously got OD1, OD2, and we've got 2 voices within that as well. So already we've got quite a lot of sound options here for you. It's quite a versatile suite of amplifiers, which is what I believe and what we believe makes them so popular. They really are a Swiss Army knife. They're amazing. Obviously here we have our tone deck, our 3-band EQ, and guess what? ISF. As we come across, we have our reverb and our master power. Now just going back one to our reverb, on the back of the amplifier, there's quite a lot going on as well. So with the reverb, you've got 2 voices. You've got dark and you've got light, and you can choose your preference, whichever one you prefer. And as we come across, we've got, it's a 40 watt amplifier. I mean, the clue is in the title. But if we want to, we can take it down to 4 watts if we're playing a smaller venue, or if we're in a really tight rehearsal situation and you don't want to deafen yourself, you can take it down to 4 watts. So pretty cool feature. Now, on the back, we have quite a lot going on as well. So other than just the reverb voicing switch, there's CabRig. So you can connect this via USB-C to your Mac or PC and play with the different settings within CabRig and have all your different cab sounds that you like. However, we do also include 3 preset on the amplifier for you, which can be found. There's a little switch on the back that goes 1, 2, and 3. Now, they're preloaded. If you don't like those ones, you can, as I say, connect via USB-C to your Mac or PC and select 3 more that you like, and then save them to the amplifier. Blackstar St. James. Okay, what is it? What are they? In short, St. James represents much higher end stuff for Blackstar, so these sit at more the top end of our product lineup. They are all tube, all valve products, okay? 50 watt. This is a 6L6. We have an EL34 version, which looks different, comes in a fawn finish, looks beautiful. We have a head, version of both 6L6 and EL34, and we have a vertical cab that pairs with the head. That's the lineup. Okay, the first thing to talk about is the tone of these amplifiers. These are incredible. We have not held back on anything when it comes to this amplifier. We've thrown everything we've got at it. St. James tonally sound absolutely unbelievable. Glassy tones from the EL34. The 6L6 gets you that beautiful American tone, West Coast thing. And there is something pretty special about St. James, which I haven't told you, and that is that these are actually the lightest all-tube amplifiers in the world. So light, incredibly light. In fact, once you've picked one up, you're going to think, I'm probably going to have one of these, or seriously start considering one, even if it's just for your back with your other amplifiers. These are very, very light, 33% lighter than a 50-watt combo without what's going on in here. Now, what makes it light is a few things. We have switch mode power supplies in here. So instead of having a big brick of a power supply, what you have is a very small component which takes a lot of weight out of the product. The next thing we have is the speaker. Is a custom Celestion speaker that's based on a vintage 30. What Celestion did for us was they trimmed all the fat. Anything that had any extra weight, with the magnets, they worked out a way of making them as strong as they were normally, but in half the size. So you pair that with the switch mode power supplies, and you've got a very, very, very light all-tube amplifier. Okay, but that's not all. What we've also got in here is CabRig, which allows you to connect to your computer, your Mac or PC. And there's some presets on here that you can have and select that will give you different sounds. Or you can connect and load up the CabRig software and change your own cab settings. There's a few other things that make this amplifier special. One of the coolest things, I feel, is that the logo lights up, which is awesome. And the other thing, with the name St. James, I just want to give you a little bit of background on that very briefly, because it doesn't really sound like a Blackstar product, because we have HT and ID core and stuff like that, whereas this is just a name. And one of the questions that I get asked a lot on my travels is, what does St. James mean? Well, if you go onto our website, you'll see the answer to that. It says St. James is a historical part of the town of Northampton, which is where Blackstar are based. We're right in the middle of England, right in the middle of the country. So it's a square, and Northampton is quite famous not only for Blackstar, but for shoemaking. So back in the day, it was called Shoetown, because there was lots of handmade shoes that came out of Northampton, and St. James is a historic part of that scene and our town where our company is based. We also like it because if you say it phonetically, it's North Amp Town. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, back to the amplifier. With the 6L6 here, we have master over here. We have a pretty cool feature here, which I really like personally, which will take this down from a 50. You can take it down to 2 watts. But what's really nice, so if I put it in the middle position, we get a sag sound. So we get that lovely, not compression, but you know when you really attack the guitar when it's turned up loud and we get that little dip, that little squeeze in the middle, that gives you that sound. So it really is feature rich with the CabRig, and there's some amazing tones that you can get from it. And one last thing to tell you about, you can actually select a switch on here and turn off the speaker and go direct to PA, to front of house, through a DI, whatever you want to do. And with the head version, you can literally just take the head to go do your gig. No cab required, they are powered. So you can go direct and have silent if you're doing in-ears on stage monitoring. So St. James, firstly, the best sounding amps, we believe, at this price point in the world. Secondly, super light. Thirdly, feature rich. You can get a lot of tones from these. 6L6, EL34, the new St. James range. Bass players, don't worry, we've got you covered. Okay, Unity bass. These are Blackstar's bass products, and they come in a few different flavors. We've got a 30, we've got a 60, we've got a 120, we've got a 500, we've got a 250, we've got a 700 head. There's a lot of different variations there for you. There's a few unique features that Unity has. So we have an ultra lightweight body on the outside. The wood is ultra lightweight. Unity for us was our first foray into bass, but we didn't want to treat it any differently to how we would treat any other Blackstar product. So there is some unique features. We have 3 preamp voices on here. We have a parametric EQ system on here. It makes these very, very, very versatile amps. The Unity bass amp series by Blackstar. Lots of different choices, lots of different powers, but don't worry bass players, because we have got you covered. Okay, I want to thank you if you've made it this far through the video and you've managed to wrap your ears around my accent. I'm very sorry for the English accent. I've come a very long way to see Long & McQuaid, all the way from sunny England, or is it rainy England at the moment? I don't know, but it's sunny here and that's all that matters to me. So I've come a long way to see Long McQuaid, and these guys are really doing it right, as you know yourself. You can now find them, as I said at the top of this conversation, you can find Blackstar in every single Long McQuaid in the country. So please do go down to your local store to check out some Blackstar products. We got you covered. We got you covered from the entry level to the mid-range to the high end. We've got you covered at home. We've got all these great products. Electric guitar players, acoustic guitar players, bass players. Please do consider Blackstar. Please do go to Long McQuaid and check them out. And you know what? The best thing you can do and the biggest favor you can do for me is just plug in. Please just plug in and play and make some music. So please like and subscribe. All the links are in the description below. I've been James Berryman from Blackstar Amplification in the UK. Thank you very much for listening and watching.